I wish I was a little stone, simply waiting to be chosen. Smooth and shiny, I could flicker, gleam, and glow. Or jagged, broken, pointed, rough. Careful, I may hurt your toe. Perhaps not a stone, but a stone's friend I'll be. Making magic every day between the oceans and the seas.
Stonework is the open-ended response to the invitation to work with stones, a natural resource, inspiring participants in storytelling. Stones are a kinesthetic medium, never fixed in their place or meaning, the ground an endless canvas, and small hands the brushes that move them.
So the tower in the middle represents my family, and then the ones around it are kind of just my extended family and close friends. So that's basically what my thing says. It says, the tower in the middle represents my immediate family, how we are all a part of each other. The next group of towers represents extended family and closest friends, and so on. Everyone radiates out from each other to form the whole, and we're all a part of something much bigger than just ourselves.
And can you show your picture? And she made it so you could feel the elevation. Also, make sure, if you haven't done it, to give it a name. So what would you call
So
it?
mine was called The Whole.
The Whole?
Yep.
How did you spell whole?
WHO.
No, it could be that. Thank you. Okay.
So you have like yourself in the middle, and you know you have life like surrounding you. And I wrote a lot, but I'll just kind of summarize it.
You can read it. Read the whole.
Oh, okay. The circle of life shows how life is a never-ending continuum. We are surrounded by life everywhere we look. The rock in the center represents a person and how life revolves around him or her. Life itself has no stopping or starting point. People or living things will always die, but new things will soon be born. Life on Earth is magical because it continues to go on even when we pass away. The rocks stacked on top of each other represent the highs in life, or the positive memories we all have. Smaller rocks represent the everyday occurrences in life that aren't too special but are still important to the continuing of the cycle of life. In life, we learn to balance the highs and lows, and we come to realize that not every day will be as good or as bad as the next. Life does not adjust to meet the needs of each individual, instead it just keeps going. It is our job to conform ourselves to life and make the most of the situations we are presented with.
But like first, you know, when I did this, I'm like, oh, that's definitely, these guys want to be a flower, this one wants to be a person, and this is my dog, Chloe. So then when I did the enclosure, it was more about feeling like peaceful and safe. And at the end, I named it walking. I like to go walking with my dog. So walking, feeling safe and loved, protected, at peace with the hills, these are the hills, with my dog, with the flowers. Right. But I actually found some that were pretty nice, that are bigger, and it made me, kind of inspired me too, like next time I go to Maine, they have all these beautiful beach stones that are big enough.
So it kind of looks like a person, but it's not supposed to be. It's the circle of life. And I started off with two rows together, like on the top there. One representing myself, one representing my husband. And then us joining down, kind of symbolizing that we have been together a very long time and we were separate and now we're together. Inside the circle are 4 dark stones, and that represents Ed, myself, and my 2 boys. It looks a little bit separate, and I didn't mean it to come out that the daughter-in-laws are a little separate, but they're down here. Okay.
Wait, the dog?
Daughter-in-laws.
Daughter-in-law.
Dogs.
Yeah, tell the truth.
I thought about putting the grand dogs in there, but I thought that was pushing it a little bit. And then the 2 seashells, there's 2 seashells that I found that I thought was totally different than the stones, and that represents my grandchildren. So that they are unique, they're not stones, and it was just a little bit more special. On the outside, there's all of us, because my daughter-in-laws, I do feel like are daughters now, and it's representing all of us going off and branching out into their own lives and their own families, and yeah. So I just really kind of explained in my story. I didn't make like a story like Once Upon a Time, but just kind of really what they were representing. I was trying to think about the different colors, not that they meant anything, but just the different things. I mean, the red maybe could be the really hard times, the dark ones being darker days. You know,
Yeah, but wait, you made the dark your family. You made the husband and your 2 kids.
Yeah, just because they were smooth,
Okay.
not because of darkness.
Okay.
Didn't really think about that afterwards. But yet I like the smoothness of the black ones and maybe just making them unique.
But you made them all equal, which is interesting.
Yeah, well, Ed's supposed to be a little bit larger here and then work down, but I don't know if I like being the larger one since my boys are both bigger than me now, so, you know, yeah, we didn't go too much. I didn't spend too much time on the size and all that, so.
I started to think what to make. and brought me back into my childhood. When I was 5 years old on my 5th birthday, my mom made me a huge birthday cake, chocolate. I love chocolate, with a big heart, white heart on the top. At that time, we didn't use any color, you know, just real natural ingredients. And I made myself. I had a white dress, very pretty, with the huge pockets on the sides, and the black, and those glossy shoes, beautiful shoes. I like them. So when I was doing this,
Patent leather?
what?
Like a patent leather shoe?
Yeah, yeah. And when I was doing this, I was calm, of course, and brought myself to the good, memory, you know, of those years. So, and our friends like to make cakes and sing happy birthday, so, you know, it's one of
I thought that
our
was the
routines.
apron.
Oh yeah, it looks like, but you know, I couldn't find the rocks, what I...
But was it an apron or was part of
No,
your
no, no,
dress?
dress, but big pockets. I had white dress, big outside.
Upon a time, there lived a woman who wanted to help people, and she was constantly thinking of others and forgetting about her own needs, until one day she bought herself the prettiest flowers and have seen the sunshine brighter, and the bottomless sky filled her soul with joy. This is my life, and I want it to be the best I could possibly make it. And I will try to bring more beauty to this world from now on, she thought. And she called herself Sunshine ever since.
So I felt like I was a paleontologist building a dinosaur. So I built the dinosaur, the first one, and gave him a little, first I was going to give him scales, but then I gave him a heart. And then I decided I needed to build a friend for this dinosaur, so I found some more rocks and built a friend.
Who was the friend?
This is a friend.
I know, what animal?
It's a big guy, he's cute. He's a rocket guy. You know, he's a creation. So we call it Two Hearts. And I wrote a story. A paleontologist discovered several reddish-brown bones. As she fit them together, she found that this dinosaur had a very long neck with a small pointy head and a long tail with a sharp spike at the end. She built another dinosaur that had no neck, I guess he was a dinosaur, a large eye, and a short tail. She brought them to life by giving each a heart in the center of their bodies. The two dinosaurs became good and kind friends. The end. You can tell I teach preschool.
I like the smooth ones. I always gravitate to the smooth ones in the same way that the kids like those little shiny ones.
I was looking at those spiky red ones. I like those.
Yeah. Do we
They're
have
a
some
little
of
different.
those?
We don't.
I think we do on the playground.
I want some.
Those will like probably write on paper too, or like the sidewalk.
I liked those because they were
Those we could probably get from like Diana was saying, from
yes.
a
Yes,
gravel
place.
place.
Yep.
Because I think that it's not necessarily from around here. That might be shipped in
No,
from
I don't
another
think
area.
And I think setting it up in that round table will make it, contain, to have a space to work at. And it's quiet, it's just two. So that they can be peaceful and quiet while they're doing
I really think that partnering, even though we did it individually, partnering like
Help.
those purposeful partners we've been talking about. Maybe we could send some purposeful pairs over there to work together to get started. And I like the idea of using the rendering for the kids who maybe need that extra challenge within the building and construction that they're already doing in the classroom. using it in that space. And for the kids who aren't ready for that, and that might be just a little too frustrating, maybe like we use the painting with water on the rocks, maybe giving them the opportunity to do that. Even
So that would
with
be
water
that.
on paper, and it will disappear.
It's a really good idea. You're like even tracing them with the water and paint. You know. And that would be peaceful and calming as well.
Yeah.
So that sensory
table?
sort of,
Yeah.
yep, that sensory experience,
Yeah.
but we're incorporating some of those, like the rocks and some of our natural elements that we want to bring into the classroom.
And the astroturf we just thought would be a different building surface. To see what,
If we can find it, I'd like the kind that we have outside.
yeah.
Like not that
Not the one we
carpeted
had
kind.
upstairs.
Yeah, no, not that. I know we have some of that around.
I bet
Yeah,
that'd be
I would
nice.
check in the toddler room, they have like all of those in their observation booth, like in the.
Yeah, I
Should
know.
just go steal it right
It's
now.
been there in the past. Yeah. Why don't you go grab some?
Yeah.
Then we have the toddler room.
Yeah.
And we've already picked out a spot we're going to dedicate next to the block space, stone building space. And we have some wire baskets, and we put wire baskets and wicker baskets in there because they really like to move things from one thing to another. And so we really wanted them to be down on the floor building. I think it would be more grounded for our little friends.
At least
And it's down
initially
on-
when starting it, because right now we're into just pushing off the table.
And so then we also have a messy materials area outside that's usually empty because you never know what to put in it. So we're going to make that stone building also for outside. And right now it has turf in it. So we're going to kind of like look around and see if I can find something like plywood or something that's harder, that's individualized, so they can make on something hard, but that's their own space.
How about go to a tile place? They might, then you could have a piece of tile.
We've had tile before and they crack them.
Oh, they crack.
So yeah, especially people in the infant room.
We had talked about this pretty much the same. We had talked about, we have a space outside. It's like a wooden sandbox almost that we usually have like building materials in general, and we change it out. We talked about putting like a basket with the stones in there and just kind of letting them explore them however they want to at first and seeing what they do.
But it's something like developmentally, because you're going to see them first just scatter the stones, and it's okay. Or moving them back and forth, the toddlers. It's not that they're making a story. Or they pretend feed with the stones. And then what happens, the stories will start to